In the name of God. Work and careers.
The office buzzed with energy as Mr. Collins, the manager, stood before his team. He had called an urgent meeting to discuss the company's expansion plans. "Our recruitment drive begins next Monday," he announced, scanning the room. Employees exchanged glances, knowing this would impact their daily workloads. New hires meant more collaboration and possibly shifting responsibilities. Mr. Collins explained that the company was growing faster than expected. Starting salaries for entry-level roles would be £28,000 per year. Experienced candidates could negotiate based on their qualifications. The team listened intently, some already thinking about promotions. The manager assured them that performance reviews happened every 6 months. Hard work would be rewarded with career advancement opportunities. He then detailed the types of contracts available for new employees. Temporary roles were ideal for short-term projects lasting 3 to 6 months. These positions included a probation period to assess suitability. Permanent contracts, however, provided job security from day one. Employees debated which option aligned best with their career goals. Some valued stability, while others preferred flexible arrangements. Mr. Collins emphasized that performance determined long-term opportunities. Even temporary staff could transition to permanent roles if they excelled. The company prioritized dedication, adaptability, and teamwork. The meeting concluded with a reminder about employee referral bonuses. After the meeting, Sarah, a junior employee, felt a mix of excitement and anxiety. She had only been with the company for a year and wondered about her future. New hires might mean more competition for promotions. Her colleague Mark reassured her, noting her consistent performance. "You've never missed a deadline," he said encouragingly. Sarah smiled but knew she needed to improve her leadership skills. She decided to request feedback from Mr. Collins later that week. Meanwhile, Mark considered applying for a senior role himself. His experience made him a strong candidate for advancement. The biannual promotion system motivated him to push harder. The following Monday, the office transformed into a recruitment hub. Dozens of applicants arrived, dressed professionally and carrying portfolios. The HR team meticulously reviewed CVs and cover letters. Sarah was assigned to coordinate interview schedules, which she enjoyed. She observed candidates with varying levels of experience and confidence. Some were recent graduates, while others had decades in the industry. Mr. Collins stressed the importance of cultural fit during hiring. Technical skills mattered, but so did collaboration and problem solving. Sarah noticed some candidates struggled with group exercises. Others stood out by taking initiative and offering creative solutions. By evening, the team had narrowed down the list to the top candidates. One standout applicant, Lisa, impressed everyone during her interview. She had 5 years of experience in a similar role at a competitor. Her answers were articulate, and she demonstrated strong analytical skills. When asked about salary expectations, she aligned with the company's offer. She also inquired about professional development programs. Mr. Collins explained the biannual promotion system in detail. Lisa seemed enthusiastic about the growth opportunities. Sarah admired how confidently Lisa handled tough questions. Later, the hiring team unanimously agreed she was a top contender. However, they still had several more candidates to evaluate. Final decisions would take at least another week. Meanwhile, Mark focused on his own career progression. He scheduled a one-on-one meeting with Mr. Collins to discuss his goals. The manager appreciated his initiative and offered valuable advice. "Focus on exceeding targets and mentoring junior staff," he suggested. Mark took notes and committed to taking on more responsibility. The next promotion review was just 5 months away. If he performed well, a team leader position was within reach. Inspired, Sarah also set new goals for herself. She enrolled in an internal public speaking workshop. Both friends encouraged each other to grow professionally. A week later, Lisa received a job offer for a temporary contract. Though she preferred permanency, she accepted, seeing it as a foot in the door. She started the following Monday, eager to prove herself. Sarah was assigned to train her on daily operations and company protocols. Lisa learned quickly, adapting to the team's workflow seamlessly. Her positive attitude made her popular among colleagues. Even during probation, she volunteered for extra tasks. Mr. Collins noticed her efforts and praised her during a team meeting. Sarah felt proud to have such a motivated teammate. She hoped Lisa would secure a permanent role soon. Over the next few months, the team dynamic improved significantly. New hires like Lisa brought fresh perspectives and energy. Sarah continued seeking feedback and honing her skills. Her persistence paid off when she received a modest salary increase. Mark, too, made strides toward his promotion goal. As the biannual review approached, employees prepared meticulously. They documented achievements and set new performance targets. Mr. Collins reiterated that promotions were based solely on merit. The transparent system kept morale high and competition healthy. When review day arrived, tension and excitement filled the office. Each employee met privately with Mr. Collins for their evaluation. Sarah nervously entered his office, hoping for good news. The manager praised her dedication but suggested she needed more leadership experience. Though disappointed, Sarah accepted the constructive feedback. Mark, however, was promoted to team leader, as he had hoped. He thanked Mr. Collins and celebrated with his colleagues. Lisa also received great news: her probation was successful. She was offered a permanent role with a salary increase. The recruitment strategy had undeniably strengthened the company. Talented hires like Lisa elevated the team's performance. Experienced employees like Mark stepped into leadership roles. Even those not promoted this cycle had clear growth paths. The biannual review system kept everyone motivated. Sarah realized patience and continuous improvement were key. She set new objectives for the next evaluation period. The office culture remained collaborative yet competitive. Employees supported each other while striving for personal success. Mr. Collins was pleased with the team's progress. Over time, Sarah grew more confident in her abilities. She volunteered for complex projects to expand her skill set. Colleagues noticed her improvement and respected her work ethic. Lisa, now a permanent employee, also aimed higher. She sought Sarah's advice on managing increased responsibilities. The two developed a strong friendship outside work. Mark, as team leader, ensured fair task distribution. He mentored junior staff, remembering his own early struggles. The company's growth-focused culture benefited everyone. Months later, Mr. Collins announced another recruitment drive. This time, the company needed specialists for a new department. Salaries were higher due to the technical expertise required. Sarah debated applying but decided to gain more experience first. Lisa, however, felt ready for the challenge and prepared her application. Mark encouraged both, confident in their potential. The manager valued employees who sought growth opportunities. Lisa's interview for the specialist role was demanding but successful. Her probation period had prepared her for tough questions. She answered technical and situational questions with ease. A week later, she received the job offer and celebrated with Sarah. Inspired, Sarah vowed to push herself further. Mr. Collins reminded the team that growth was ongoing. Staying prepared and proactive was the key to advancement. At the year-end celebration, the team reflected on their achievements. Many had earned promotions or salary increases. Even those who hadn't were on clear career paths. The recruitment system had brought in top talent. Probation periods ensured only the best stayed. Biannual reviews kept employees focused and driven. Sarah was already preparing for the next promotion cycle. Mark led his team effectively, and Lisa thrived in her new role. The company's story illustrated how career growth worked. Recruitment, probation, and promotions were interconnected. Hard work, patience, and adaptability led to success. Mr. Collins's system was fair and effective. Sarah, Mark, and Lisa represented different career stages. Each had goals and worked diligently toward them. The workplace thrived due to their collective effort. For learners, this context demonstrates workplace vocabulary. It also mirrors real-world career progression. Meanwhile, the HR team refined the onboarding process. New hires now received a detailed orientation package. It included training schedules, policy handbooks, and team contacts. Mentors were assigned to guide recruits during their first month. This structured approach reduced confusion and improved retention. Employees felt supported from day one. Sarah took on a mentorship role for a new junior hire. She shared her own experiences to ease their transition. The mentee appreciated her practical advice and patience. Mr. Collins noticed Sarah's leadership potential growing. He hinted that she might be ready for promotion soon. The company also introduced skill development workshops. Employees could attend sessions on communication, project management, and technology. Participation was voluntary but strongly encouraged. Sarah attended a course on data analysis, broadening her expertise. Lisa's success in the specialist role led to new opportunities. She was invited to lead a cross-departmental project. The experience exposed her to senior management. Her career trajectory became a model for others. Mark's leadership style earned praise from his team. He balanced assertiveness with empathy, fostering trust. Under his guidance, productivity and morale improved. The company expanded internationally, opening a European branch. Selected employees were offered relocation opportunities. Mark was considered for a managerial role abroad. Sarah's perseverance finally paid off in the next review cycle. She was promoted to a mid-level management position. Her journey from junior employee to leader inspired many. The HR team analyzed recruitment data to improve diversity. They implemented blind CV screenings to reduce bias. The company's workforce became more inclusive. Lisa was promoted again, this time to a senior specialist role. She represented the company at industry conferences. Her expertise gained recognition beyond the organization. Mark accepted the overseas managerial position. Though nervous, he saw it as a career-defining move. His team threw a farewell party to celebrate his success. Sarah stepped into Mark's former role as team leader. She applied everything she had learned from him. Her transition was smooth, thanks to her preparation. The company launched an employee recognition program. Outstanding performers received bonuses and public acknowledgement. Motivation soared across all departments. Years later, Sarah, Lisa, and Mark remained in touch. They had all climbed the corporate ladder in different ways. Their shared history bonded them beyond work. The company's reputation as an employer of choice grew. It attracted top talent from around the industry. Employee retention rates reached record highs. The company's recruitment strategy continued to evolve as it expanded into new markets. HR introduced digital interviews to streamline the hiring process for international candidates. Applicants no longer needed to travel for initial screenings, saving time and costs. Sarah adapted quickly to these changes, conducting virtual onboarding sessions for remote hires. Lisa, now a senior specialist, helped design technical assessments for specialist roles. Mark, managing the European branch, shared insights on cultural differences in the workplace. The leadership team met monthly to discuss global recruitment trends. Employee feedback was valued, leading to continuous improvements in hiring practices. The company's employer brand grew stronger, attracting diverse talent. Job postings highlighted career growth, work-life balance, and competitive benefits. Social media campaigns showcased employee testimonials and workplace culture. The recruitment team celebrated when the company won Best Employer awards. Sarah's promotion to team leader marked a turning point in her career. She attended leadership training to refine her management style. Her team respected her fairness and willingness to listen to their concerns. She held weekly check-ins to monitor progress and address challenges. Under her guidance, junior employees felt more confident sharing ideas. Lisa often collaborated with Sarah on cross-functional projects. Their teamwork demonstrated the company's emphasis on collaboration. Mark, from abroad, occasionally joined their meetings via video call. He shared strategies that had worked in the European office. Sarah implemented some of these ideas, improving her team's efficiency. The leadership team recognized her innovative approach. Her journey inspired others to pursue their career goals persistently. Lisa's reputation as a senior specialist earned her a seat on the Innovation Committee. She proposed new technologies to streamline company operations. Her ideas were tested in pilot programs before full implementation. The committee valued her problem-solving skills and attention to detail. She also mentored junior specialists, helping them navigate complex projects. Sarah often joked that Lisa was the go-to guru for technical advice. Outside work, Lisa enrolled in an executive education program. She balanced her studies with her demanding role, proving her dedication. The company sponsored her tuition, investing in her long-term growth. Her success story was featured in the internal newsletter. Colleagues admired her ability to turn challenges into opportunities. Lisa remained humble, crediting her team for their collective achievements. Mark's international assignment presented both challenges and rewards. He learned to manage a multicultural team with different work styles. Language barriers occasionally arose but were overcome with patience. He introduced flexible work policies to accommodate diverse time zones. His leadership ensured the European branch met its quarterly targets. Back at headquarters, his former team often referenced his management techniques. Mark visited the main office twice a year for strategy meetings. These trips allowed him to reconnect with Sarah and Lisa. He shared stories of his experiences abroad, broadening their perspectives. The company considered expanding further into Asia, and Mark was consulted. His adaptability made him a candidate for future global roles. He encouraged others to embrace opportunities outside their comfort zones. The company's employee recognition program boosted morale across departments. High performers received bonuses, extra vacation days, or public praise. Sarah nominated several of her team members for their outstanding contributions. Lisa was awarded Innovator of the Year for her tech initiatives. Mark received recognition for successfully launching the European branch. The awards ceremony became an annual event employees looked forward to. Junior staff felt motivated to work harder, knowing their efforts would be noticed. The program also included peer-to-peer recognition, fostering camaraderie. Teams celebrated small wins regularly, creating a positive work environment. HR tracked the program's impact on productivity and retention. The data showed significant improvements in employee satisfaction. Leadership pledged to expand the program further in the coming year. Diversity and inclusion became a priority in the company's hiring strategy. HR removed names and photos from initial CV screenings to reduce bias. Job advertisements emphasized equal opportunities for all candidates. Sarah attended workshops on inclusive leadership to better support her team. Lisa advocated for more women in technical roles through mentorship programs. Mark ensured the European branch reflected the local community's diversity. Employee resource groups formed to represent different backgrounds and perspectives. The company's commitment to inclusivity strengthened its reputation. Clients and partners appreciated working with a diverse team. Recruitment metrics showed a steady increase in underrepresented hires. Leadership set measurable goals for further progress. The workplace became a model for other organizations to follow. Sarah's leadership skills flourished as she took on more responsibilities. She represented her department in executive meetings, voicing her team's needs. Her input influenced decisions on resource allocation and project prioritization. She also mediated conflicts within her team, ensuring a harmonious work environment. Lisa often sought her advice on balancing technical and managerial tasks. Mark, from abroad, praised Sarah's growth during their catch-up calls. Sarah began mentoring high-potential employees identified by HR. Her ability to nurture talent earned her a reputation as a leader builder. She was invited to speak at a conference on effective team management. Her speech highlighted practical strategies she had implemented. Colleagues admired her ability to stay calm under pressure. Sarah credited her success to the company's supportive culture. Lisa's expertise led to her appointment as head of the innovation department. She now oversaw a team of specialists working on cutting-edge projects. Her promotion came with higher visibility and greater accountability. She reported directly to the CEO during quarterly strategy reviews. Sarah and Mark cheered her on, proud of her accomplishments. Lisa's first initiative was a company-wide hackathon to spark creativity. Employees from all departments collaborated on innovative solutions. The winning idea was implemented, saving the company significant costs. Lisa also established partnerships with universities for research collaborations. Her leadership style combined vision with hands-on involvement. She made time for one-on-one meetings with every team member. Her department became known as the company's innovation engine. Mark's success in Europe led to an offer to lead the Asian expansion. He spent months researching the new market and building local connections. The company provided cultural training to prepare him for the transition. Sarah and Lisa helped him analyze potential challenges and opportunities. Mark's family supported the move, excited for the adventure ahead. His departure from Europe was bittersweet, as his team had achieved remarkable results. The European branch was now a self-sustaining, profitable operation. Mark's replacement was promoted internally, continuing his legacy. Before leaving, he documented best practices for the next leader. His adaptability and strategic thinking made him indispensable. The CEO praised Mark as a key driver of global growth. Sarah was promoted to department head, overseeing multiple teams. Her role now included budgeting, strategic planning, and cross-departmental coordination. She attended leadership retreats to align her vision with company goals. Lisa and Mark, though in different roles, remained her trusted advisors. Sarah implemented a rotation program to help employees gain diverse experience. High performers could work in different departments for 6-month periods. The program reduced burnout and increased skill development. Employees appreciated the chance to explore new career paths. Sarah also introduced mental health initiatives, recognizing workplace stress. Free counseling sessions and mindfulness workshops were well received. Her leadership was marked by empathy and innovation. The company's employee satisfaction scores reached an all-time high. Lisa's department launched a groundbreaking product that disrupted the industry. The innovation stemmed from years of research and collaboration. Competitors scrambled to catch up, but the company held the first-mover advantage. Lisa's team was celebrated at the annual company meeting. She credited her colleagues for their hard work and creativity. The product's success led to media coverage and industry awards. Lisa was invited to speak at international tech conferences. Her insights on innovation leadership were widely shared online. Sarah and Mark joked that she was now the company's rock star. Despite her fame, Lisa remained focused on her team's growth. She reinvested her bonus into professional development for her staff. The company's stock price soared, benefiting all employees. Mark's Asian expansion faced unexpected regulatory hurdles. He navigated the challenges by building strong local partnerships. His team adapted the company's offerings to meet regional preferences. Within a year, the Asian branch became profitable, exceeding expectations. Mark's ability to pivot strategies impressed the board of directors. He was promoted to regional CEO, overseeing Asia and Europe. Sarah and Lisa celebrated his achievement during a video call. Mark attributed his success to the company's risk-taking culture. He encouraged other leaders to embrace global opportunities. His story was featured in a business magazine as a case study. The company's global footprint now spanned 3 continents. Sarah was nominated for the Leadership Excellence Award by an industry association. Her innovative programs and high team morale set her apart. She attended the awards gala with Lisa and Mark, who flew in to support her. Though she didn't win, the nomination itself was an honor. Sarah used the platform to advocate for mentorship in the workplace. Her speech resonated with young professionals in the audience. After the event, she reflected on her journey from junior employee to leader. Lisa and Mark reminded her how much she had inspired them. The trio laughed about their early days in the company. They vowed to continue pushing each other to new heights. The company's culture of mutual support remained their foundation. The company celebrated its 10th anniversary with a grand event. Employees from all branches gathered to commemorate the milestone. The CEO highlighted key achievements, including global expansion and innovation. Sarah, Lisa, and Mark were recognized as pivotal to the company's success. A video montage showcased their journeys, inspiring newer employees. The CEO announced profit-sharing bonuses for all staff. Cheers erupted as employees realized the tangible rewards of their hard work. The event also unveiled a new sustainability initiative. The company pledged to reduce its carbon footprint by 50% in 5 years. Employees volunteered to lead green projects in their offices. The anniversary reinforced pride in being part of the organization. Years later, Sarah, Lisa, and Mark remained close friends and colleagues. Sarah became COO, overseeing daily operations worldwide. Lisa was appointed Chief Innovation Officer, driving the company's R&D strategy. Mark served as President of International Markets, a role created for him. They often reminisced about the recruitment drive that started it all. New employees listened in awe to their stories of growth. The company's culture of opportunity and support never faded. Even as executives, they made time to mentor junior staff. Their bond proved that professional relationships could become lifelong friendships. The company's success was a testament to their collective effort. The recruitment drive had set off a chain reaction of growth and achievement. From nervous applicants to industry leaders, the journey was transformative. The company's commitment to employee development never wavered. Sarah, Lisa, and Mark embodied the values of hard work and adaptability. Their stories inspired countless others to pursue their ambitions. The workplace thrived because of its people-first philosophy. As the company planned its next decade, the foundation remained strong. New talent continued to join, eager to write their own success stories. The legacy of opportunity and support endured for future generations. The company's sustainability initiative gained momentum, with employees actively participating in green projects. Sarah championed a zero-waste office program, replacing disposable items with reusable alternatives. Lisa's innovation team developed energy-efficient software to reduce server power consumption. Mark's international branches adopted solar energy and recycling policies tailored to local regulations. The CEO publicly praised these efforts during a shareholders' meeting. Investors responded positively, seeing sustainability as a competitive advantage. Employees took pride in contributing to environmental goals alongside business growth. The initiative also attracted eco-conscious talent during recruitment drives. HR added sustainability metrics to employee performance evaluations. The company's carbon footprint report showed a 20% reduction within the first year. Sarah envisioned even greater progress by partnering with green technology startups. As COO, Sarah streamlined global operations by standardizing workflows across regions. She introduced a digital platform for teams to share best practices in real time. Language translation features ensured inclusivity for non-English speaking employees. Mark's feedback helped adapt the platform for cultural nuances in Asia and Europe. Lisa integrated AI tools to automate routine tasks, freeing up time for creative work. Department heads reported higher efficiency and fewer communication gaps. Sarah also implemented a flexible hours policy to accommodate time zones. Productivity metrics improved, debunking initial skepticism about remote collaboration. Employees appreciated the trust placed in their time management skills. The policy became a selling point in job advertisements. Competitors began adopting similar models, following the company's lead. Sarah's leadership proved that innovation could coexist with operational discipline. Lisa's R&D team unveiled a prototype for an AI-driven customer service tool. The technology reduced response times by 75% in beta testing. Clients praised its accuracy and personalized solutions. The board fast-tracked its launch, allocating additional funding to Lisa's department. She hired data scientists and ethicists to ensure responsible AI use. Sarah connected her with operations teams for seamless implementation. Mark explored partnerships to introduce the tool in international markets. Industry analysts predicted it would revolutionize customer interactions. Lisa's team filed multiple patents, securing the company's intellectual property. She emphasized transparency, publishing ethical guidelines for AI deployment. The tool's success led to a new revenue stream through licensing. Lisa's name became synonymous with cutting-edge innovation in tech circles. Mark negotiated a landmark deal with a major Asian conglomerate, expanding the company's market share. The partnership included joint ventures in emerging technologies. Cultural sensitivity training ensured smooth collaboration between teams. Sarah coordinated logistics, while Lisa advised on technology integration. The deal was celebrated at a signing ceremony attended by global media. Share prices surged, and the board rewarded Mark with a bonus. He reinvested part of it into leadership programs for his regional teams. The conglomerate's CEO publicly commended Mark's strategic vision. Back home, employees felt proud of their company's global influence. Mark's success reinforced the value of adaptability in international business. His story inspired mid-level managers to pursue cross-cultural assignments. Sarah launched a leadership pipeline program to identify and nurture future executives. High-potential employees underwent rigorous training and mentorship. Lisa and Mark joined as guest speakers, sharing their career trajectories. Participants worked on real business challenges, presenting solutions to the CEO. The program's first graduate was promoted to department head within a year. HR reported increased retention rates among pipeline candidates. Sarah tailored the program for different global regions, respecting local leadership styles. Mark's Asian team contributed insights on hierarchical versus collaborative approaches. The initiative was featured in a Harvard Business Review case study. Competing firms requested consultations on replicating the model. Sarah considered licensing the program as a new business vertical. Lisa's team faced a setback when a key product failed regulatory approval in Europe. She led crisis response efforts, addressing compliance issues transparently. Sarah mobilized cross-functional teams to redesign the product swiftly. Mark leveraged his regional connections to expedite revised approvals. Lisa held town halls to reassure employees and maintain morale. The setback became a lesson in resilience, documented in internal training modules. Within months, an improved version passed all regulations. Sales exceeded projections, proving the team's ability to pivot. Lisa publicly credited her team's perseverance during a company-wide meeting. The incident strengthened the company's reputation for accountability. Investors praised the swift recovery, and stock prices rebounded. Mark's regional teams proposed a local innovation fund to support grassroots ideas. Employees could pitch projects with seed funding up to £50,000. Sarah helped design evaluation criteria, balancing creativity and feasibility. Lisa mentored winners, ensuring technical rigor. A Japanese team's inventory optimization tool saved millions annually. An Eastern European employee's customer engagement app went viral. Mark celebrated these wins at regional town halls, fostering pride. The fund became a talent magnet, attracting entrepreneurial job seekers. Headquarters adopted the best ideas globally, giving credit to originators. Mark expanded the fund's budget due to proven ROI. The initiative blurred hierarchies, empowering junior staff to drive change. Sarah faced her toughest challenge when a supply chain disruption threatened deliveries. She convened emergency meetings with suppliers, logistics partners, and department heads. Temporary alternative routes were secured, though at higher costs. Lisa's team developed a risk assessment algorithm to prevent future crises. Mark negotiated buffer agreements with Asian manufacturers. Sarah communicated transparently with clients, offering discounts for delays. The CEO backed her decisions, prioritizing long-term trust over short-term profits. Within weeks, operations stabilized, and client feedback praised the honesty. Sarah summarized lessons in a post-mortem report shared company-wide. The event underscored the importance of agile leadership. Her handling of the crisis solidified her reputation as a dependable COO. Lisa was invited to join a government advisory board on technology ethics. Her contributions influenced national policies on AI and data privacy. Sarah and Mark joked about her celebrity status but admired her impact. Lisa balanced the role with her CI responsibilities, delegating effectively. She testified before parliamentary committees, advocating for industry self-regulation. Media coverage enhanced the company's reputation as a responsible innovator. Recruitment spiked among graduates wanting to work under her leadership. Lisa used her platform to highlight diversity in STEM fields. Her speeches at universities inspired young women to pursue tech careers. At work, she instituted ethics training for all R&D staff. Colleagues nicknamed her the conscience of the company. Mark's son joined the company as a junior analyst, sparking nepotism concerns. He proactively recused himself from all decisions involving his son's team. Sarah ensured fair treatment through HR oversight and anonymous feedback channels. The son's performance reviews were conducted by an independent panel. He earned respect by securing a key client through meticulous research. Mark's transparency set a precedent for handling familial hires ethically. The CEO formalized a nepotism policy based on this experience. Mark's son later transferred to Lisa's department to avoid conflicts. He thrived, eventually leading a project unrelated to his father's work. The situation demonstrated that integrity could coexist with personal connections. Sarah's leadership pipeline program yielded its first C-suite successor. A graduate became CFO after the previous executive retired. The promotion validated Sarah's belief in internal talent development. She mentored the new CFO, ensuring a smooth transition. Lisa and Mark celebrated the milestone as proof of the company's culture. External hires for senior roles dropped by 40%, saving recruitment costs. Employees felt motivated by clear paths to advancement. Sarah was approached to write a book on leadership cultivation. She declined, focusing instead on scaling the program globally. The board discussed her potential as future CEO material. Sarah remained humble, crediting teamwork for every achievement. Lisa's 10th anniversary at the company coincided with a major product launch. She surprised everyone by announcing a 6-month sabbatical to travel. Sarah and Mark fully supported her need for renewal. Interim leadership was appointed, with Lisa mentoring her successor. Her farewell speech emphasized the importance of work-life balance. Employees applauded her courage to prioritize personal growth. During her travels, Lisa blogged about technology trends she observed abroad. Her posts became required reading for the innovation team. Sarah shared them in leadership meetings, sparking new ideas. Mark invited her to video conference from exotic locations. Lisa returned re-energized, with fresh perspectives for her role. Mark's health scare forced him to reassess his workaholic tendencies. A minor heart attack during a business trip was a wake-up call. Sarah and Lisa rallied to temporarily cover his responsibilities. The CEO mandated a 3-month leave, despite Mark's resistance. During recovery, Mark documented a succession plan for his regions. He also started coaching younger executives to reduce dependency on him. Sarah introduced wellness programs, including mandatory vacation days. Lisa partnered with healthcare providers for on-site checkups. Mark returned with a balanced schedule, delegating more than ever. His team rose to the occasion, proving leadership development worked. The episode humanized him, deepening colleagues' respect. The company faced an aggressive takeover bid from a rival conglomerate. Sarah, Lisa, and Mark spearheaded the defense strategy. They highlighted employee morale and innovation as unique value drivers. The CEO rallied shareholders with a compelling vision for independence. Lisa's patents and Sarah's leadership programs were key bargaining chips. Mark's international relationships secured loyalty from global partners. Employees launched a grassroots "We Choose Our Future" campaign. Media coverage painted the rival as a threat to the company's culture. After months of tension, the rival withdrew its bid. The board rewarded the trio with equity stakes for their loyalty. The experience united the company like never before. Years later, Sarah, Lisa, and Mark sat together at the retirement party of their longtime CEO. Each was now a board member, shaping the company's next chapter. They toasted to the recruitment drive that had brought them together. New leaders, once junior hires, now ran daily operations seamlessly. The company's culture of growth, ethics, and innovation endured. Sarah reflected on how far they'd come, from probation periods to industry dominance. Lisa teased Mark about his early resistance to work-life balance. Laughter filled the room as stories of their journey unfolded. The CEO passed the torch, confident in the legacy left behind. As fireworks lit the sky, the trio silently vowed to keep pushing boundaries. The company's story was far from over, and neither was theirs. The company's sustainability initiative gained momentum, with employees actively participating in green projects. Sarah, as COO, led the charge by introducing a zero-waste office policy, eliminating single-use plastics and implementing recycling stations. Lisa's innovation team developed AI-powered energy monitors to optimize electricity usage across global offices. Mark's Asian branch partnered with local environmental NGOs to plant trees and reduce carbon emissions. The CEO publicly praised these efforts in quarterly reports, attracting eco-conscious investors. Employees took pride in contributing to the company's environmental goals, which were tied to annual bonuses. HR integrated sustainability metrics into performance reviews, encouraging accountability. Within a year, the company reduced its carbon footprint by 20%, exceeding industry benchmarks. Sarah proposed a supplier code of conduct, mandating eco-friendly practices from vendors. Lisa explored partnerships with clean tech startups to scale sustainable solutions. Mark's team in Europe launched a bike-to-work incentive, reducing transportation emissions. The initiative became a case study in corporate sustainability, earning the company a prestigious industry award. Sarah's operational overhaul introduced a digital collaboration platform to unify global teams. The tool featured real-time project tracking, multilingual support, and cross-departmental forums. Mark's regional managers provided feedback, leading to time-zone-friendly scheduling features. Lisa integrated the platform with her AI tools, automating routine approvals and data entry. Department heads reported a 30% reduction in redundant meetings and faster decision-making. Sarah also championed flexible work hours, allowing employees to adapt schedules to personal productivity peaks. Initial skepticism from traditional managers faded when productivity metrics improved. Remote employees praised the policy for improving work-life balance, and attrition rates dropped. Competitors began adopting similar models, but Sarah's team stayed ahead with continuous upgrades. She hosted monthly innovation sprints where employees could suggest platform improvements. The best ideas were implemented, with credit given to contributors. The system became a recruitment magnet, cited in Glassdoor reviews as a top reason for joining. Lisa's AI customer service tool revolutionized client interactions, handling 80% of routine inquiries without human intervention. The technology learned from each interaction, improving its accuracy monthly. Sarah's operations team trained staff to oversee the AI, stepping in only for complex cases. Mark's Asian clients appreciated the tool's multilingual capabilities and 24/7 availability. Industry analysts dubbed it a game-changer, and competitors scrambled to replicate it. Lisa's team filed patents, safeguarding the proprietary algorithms. She also established an ethics board to audit the AI for bias, ensuring fair treatment across demographics. The tool's success led to a new revenue stream, licensing the software to non-competing firms. Lisa was invited to speak at the UN's Tech for Good Summit, elevating the company's global reputation. Back home, she launched an internal AI literacy program to demystify the technology for employees. Her transparency about limitations built trust, and clients praised the company's responsible approach. Mark's Asian conglomerate deal unlocked access to emerging markets, boosting revenue by 15% in one quarter. The partnership included co-developing fintech solutions tailored to local needs. Sarah streamlined logistics, while Lisa's team adapted products for regional regulations. Mark's cultural fluency was key. He hired local consultants to navigate business etiquette nuances. The deal signing ceremony made headlines, with the conglomerate's CEO praising Mark's integrity. Shareholders celebrated the stock price surge, and Mark reinvested his bonus into regional talent development. His leadership workshops groomed local managers, reducing reliance on expatriates. Sarah used the deal as a blueprint for future expansions, documenting best practices. Lisa explored tech synergies, integrating the conglomerate's payment systems with their AI tools. Mark's success cemented his reputation as the company's global bridge builder. Sarah's leadership pipeline program identified 30 high-potential employees in its first year. Participants rotated through departments, attended executive shadowing sessions, and tackled real business challenges. Lisa mentored the tech-focused cohort, while Mark guided international candidates. The program's first graduate, a former junior analyst, became the youngest department head in company history. HR reported a 90% retention rate among participants, a stark contrast to industry norms. Sarah tailored the curriculum for regional offices, incorporating local leadership philosophies. Mark's Asian team emphasized consensus building, while Lisa's tech leads focused on agile decision-making. Harvard Business Review featured the program, and Sarah declined lucrative consulting offers to focus on scaling it. The board discussed her succession potential, noting her talent-spotting prowess. Lisa's European product setback became a masterclass in crisis management. When regulators rejected the product over data privacy concerns, she immediately halted launches and convened a task force. Sarah reallocated resources to fast-track redesigns, while Mark smoothed tensions with European partners. Lisa's town hall address admitting the mistake and outlining fixes won employee respect. Within months, the relaunched product passed audits, and sales outperformed projections. Lisa turned the ordeal into a training module on resilience, with candid interviews from her team. Investors praised the transparency, and the company's stock rebounded higher than pre-crisis levels. Mark's local innovation fund sparked grassroots creativity, funding 20 employee-proposed projects in its first year. A Manila-based Teams chatbot for customer feedback reduced survey costs by 40%. Sarah integrated the best ideas globally, ensuring originators received credit and bonuses. Lisa mentored winners, helping them refine pitches for scalability. Mark expanded the fund after a German employee's inventory algorithm saved €2 million annually. The initiative became a recruitment goldmine, attracting entrepreneurial talent tired of corporate rigidity. Sarah's supply chain crisis response became a benchmark for operational agility. When a hurricane disrupted shipments, she secured alternate suppliers within 48 hours, absorbing higher costs to meet deadlines. Lisa's risk assessment AI prevented future disruptions by predicting vulnerabilities. Mark's Asian contacts provided buffer inventory, minimizing client impact. Sarah's candid client communications, offering discounts for delays, built long-term loyalty. The CEO praised her calm under pressure, and the board added crisis management to leadership training. Lisa's government advisory role influenced national AI ethics guidelines, blending corporate and public interests. Her parliamentary testimony on data privacy went viral, enhancing the company's reputation. Sarah joked about Lisa's dual citizenship in tech and policy circles. Mark leveraged her insights to preempt regulatory hurdles in Asia. Lisa's university talks inspired a 50% increase in female applicants to tech roles. Mark's health scare prompted a company-wide wellness overhaul. Sarah mandated stress leave policies and partnered with fitness apps for employee discounts. Lisa introduced No Meeting Fridays to reduce burnout. Mark returned as a vocal advocate for work-life balance, sharing his story in internal newsletters. His team thrived under delegated authority, proving leadership development worked. The hostile takeover bid united the company like never before. Sarah, Lisa, and Mark rallied employees with a culture-first campaign, highlighting innovation and morale as untouchable assets. Lisa's patents and Sarah's programs were touted as unique value drivers. Mark's international allies publicly endorsed independence. The rival withdrew, and the board rewarded the trio with equity for their loyalty. Sarah's leadership pipeline produced its first CFO, validating her focus on internal talent. External senior hires dropped by 40%, saving millions. She declined book deals to scale the program globally, earning board recognition as CEO material. Lisa's sabbatical inspired a company-wide renewal leave policy. Her travel blog sparked innovation, a Japanese trend she spotted led to a new product line. Mark joked she'd hacked vacationing. Mark's succession plan ensured seamless leadership transitions. His coached protégés took over Asian and European operations, freeing him to advise the board. Sarah and Lisa teased him about finally working less. At the CEO's retirement party, the trio toasted their journey from probation to shaping the company's future. New leaders, once junior hires, now drove innovation. Fireworks lit the sky as they silently vowed to keep pushing boundaries. The story wasn't over. The company's next phase of growth focused on artificial intelligence and automation to stay ahead of competitors. Sarah, now COO, led a task force to identify departments where AI could enhance efficiency without replacing jobs. Lisa's R&D team developed a pilot program for automating routine administrative tasks, freeing employees for creative work. Mark's international branches tested multilingual AI chatbots to improve customer service across time zones. Early results showed a 30% reduction in response times, boosting client satisfaction ratings. Employees initially feared job losses, but Sarah reassured them through town halls, emphasizing upskilling opportunities. HR launched future skills workshops, teaching staff to work alongside AI tools. Lisa invited ethicists to ensure algorithms avoided bias, particularly in hiring and promotions. Meanwhile, Mark negotiated partnerships with tech universities to access cutting-edge research. The board approved increased funding for innovation, tying executive bonuses to AI integration milestones. Within months, the company became an industry leader in ethical automation. Sarah reflected on how far they had come from a small recruitment drive to shaping the future of work. The company's AI integration faced its first major test when a system error caused incorrect customer billing. Sarah immediately paused all automated processes and assembled a crisis team to address the issue. Lisa's tech specialists worked overnight to identify the bug, a flawed data input sequence. Mark communicated personally with affected clients, offering discounts and apologies to rebuild trust. The finance team manually corrected invoices while Sarah implemented new validation protocols. Employees appreciated the transparency, as daily updates were shared company-wide. Lisa proposed a human AI checkpoints system where critical decisions required employee approval. The incident became a case study in balancing innovation with accountability. Surprisingly, client feedback improved as they valued the honest response. The board praised the team's handling of the setback, turning a risk into a reputation booster. Sarah noted that failures often taught more than successes. The company emerged stronger, with more robust safeguards for future automation. Mark noticed rising demand in Africa during his global market analysis and proposed a new branch in Lagos. Sarah supported the idea but insisted on thorough local research to understand cultural nuances. Lisa's team developed lightweight tech solutions suited to unstable internet connections in the region. They hired a Nigerian manager, Amara, who bridged global standards with local practices. The Lagos office opened with 20 employees, focusing on mobile-first services popular in Africa. Mark negotiated partnerships with telecom companies to bundle the company's products. Within months, the branch exceeded targets, tapping into a previously ignored market. Amara's team suggested adaptations, like voice-based interfaces for low-literacy users. Sarah added these features globally, improving accessibility. The success prompted plans for branches in Kenya and South Africa. Mark joked that the future is multilingual and mobile-first. The board commended his foresight in unlocking emerging economies. Lisa's team unveiled a virtual reality (VR) training platform for immersive employee onboarding. New hires could simulate client meetings, crisis scenarios, and even global office tours. Sarah mandated VR training for all managers to practice inclusive leadership skills. Mark's Asian team used it to overcome language barriers through real-time translation avatars. The platform reduced onboarding time by 40% and improved knowledge retention. Clients were invited to trial VR demos of upcoming products, creating buzz. A European university partnered to use the platform for business courses, generating new revenue. Lisa hired neuroscientists to refine the simulations for maximum engagement. Some older employees resisted at first but were won over by the platform's ease of use. The media dubbed it the future of corporate learning. Lisa, typically modest, admitted this was her proudest innovation. The CEO allocated funds to expand the VR team, anticipating industry-wide demand. Sarah faced a personal crossroads when a rival company offered her a CEO position. The salary was double, and the challenge tempted her ambition. She sought advice from Lisa and Mark, who reminded her of their shared legacy. The trio spent a weekend hiking, reminiscing about their early struggles and wins. Sarah realized money mattered less than the culture they'd built together. She declined the offer but negotiated better equity and a sabbatical clause with her board. The decision strengthened her loyalty to the company and inspired her team. Lisa joked that no rival could replicate their coffee break debates. Mark toasted her at the next leadership retreat, calling her the heart of the company. Sarah redirected her energy into mentoring more women for executive roles. The board, relieved, fast-tracked her succession plan. Her story became legend in the company, a lesson in values over vanity. A viral social media post accused the company's AI tool of gender bias in hiring screenings. Lisa immediately investigated and found a skewed training data set from years ago. She publicly acknowledged the flaw and halted all AI-assisted recruitment. Sarah apologized in a live-streamed Q&A, detailing steps to rectify the issue. Mark ensured regional teams were equipped to handle local media fallout. Lisa's team rebuilt the algorithm with diverse datasets and third-party audits. They open-sourced the ethical framework to rebuild trust. Surprisingly, the controversy attracted top diversity-focused talent to the company. HR reported a 25% increase in applications from underrepresented groups. The incident became a turning point for inclusive tech industry-wide. Lisa was invited to chair a global AI ethics consortium. Sarah framed the crisis as the stumble that made us run faster. Mark's son, now a department head, proposed a risky expansion into virtual cryptocurrency payments. Sarah was skeptical but allowed a small pilot project after rigorous debate. Lisa's team built safeguards against fraud and volatility, using blockchain hybrids. The pilot initially thrived, attracting fintech-savvy clients in Asia and Europe. However, a crypto market crash caused losses, forcing a strategic pivot. Mark's son led the transition gracefully, earning respect for his accountability. Sarah turned the setback into a training module on calculated risk-taking. Lisa adapted the technology for secure, non-crypto transactions, salvaging the investment. Mark, though privately worried, praised his son's resilience publicly. The board noted that innovation sometimes required failing forward. The experience bonded father and son professionally. The company later re-entered crypto with more conservative models. Lisa's insomnia worsened from stress, prompting her to take an unplanned 2-week leave. Sarah and Mark covered her responsibilities, realizing they'd underestimated her workload. Upon her return, Lisa proposed hiring a deputy to share the innovation burden. Sarah agreed and instituted mandatory mental health days for all executives. Mark shared his post-heart attack journey in a candid email to staff. The company hired a chief wellness officer to monitor work-life balance. Productivity surprisingly rose as burnout rates plummeted. Lisa's deputy, a young robotics expert, brought fresh energy to R&D. The media praised the company's human-first leadership approach. Lisa resumed work with renewed creativity, launching a mindfulness app for employees. Sarah joked that even innovators need to switch off sometimes. The episode redefined success beyond mere output. A hacker breached the company's VR platform, exposing minor training data. Sarah activated the crisis protocol, shutting down systems temporarily. Lisa's team worked with cybersecurity firms to patch vulnerabilities within 48 hours. Mark assured clients no sensitive data was compromised, offering free security upgrades. The IT head resigned, but Sarah restructured the team to prioritize prevention. She hired ethical hackers to conduct quarterly stress tests on all systems. Lisa integrated blockchain for safer data storage, turning the solution into a sellable product. The swift response impressed regulators, who used it as a compliance benchmark. Employees participated in mandatory cybersecurity training, reducing phishing risks. Surprisingly, the breach boosted client trust in the company's transparency. Sarah reflected that the best armor is forged in fire. The board expanded the cybersecurity budget by 300%. Mark's wife fell seriously ill, requiring him to step back temporarily. Sarah and Lisa reshuffled duties without hesitation, prioritizing his family. The CEO sent a personal note affirming that family always comes first. Mark's team managed seamlessly, a testament to his delegation skills. Employees sent supportive videos, reminding him of the culture he'd helped build. Sarah instituted a family crisis fund to assist staff in similar situations. Lisa organized meal deliveries for the Mark household, moving him to tears. After 3 months, Mark returned part-time, working remotely to ease back in. His vulnerability deepened team loyalty, humanizing leadership further. The company's retention rates hit record highs, with surveys citing humanity as a top reason to stay. Mark's wife recovered fully, and he later championed workplace caregiving policies. Sarah called it their finest hour as a leadership team. A labor union formed in the European branch, demanding shorter hours and higher pay. Mark flew to negotiate, treating the union as partners rather than adversaries. Sarah authorized flexible schedules but held firm on performance-based pay structures. Lisa proposed productivity-linked bonuses, satisfying both sides. The union agreed to a 6-month trial, which ultimately boosted output. Mark's respectful approach became a model for handling labor disputes globally. The media contrasted it with competitors' union-busting tactics. Employee satisfaction scores in Europe soared, disproving myths about unions and innovation. Sarah incorporated the feedback into other regions preemptively. The union leader later joined the company's advisory board. Mark quipped that good fences make good neighbors, but open doors make great workplaces. The CEO added labor relations to leadership training. Lisa's team developed a prototype for biodegradable electronics, aiming to reduce e-waste. Early tests showed promise, but the materials degraded too quickly for practical use. A junior researcher suggested combining the tech with modular designs for easy repairs. Lisa pivoted the project, creating the world's first self-recycling smartphone components. Environmental groups hailed the innovation, and investors flooded in. Sarah fast-tracked partnerships with manufacturers willing to adopt the standard. Mark secured regulatory waivers in Asia to accelerate production. The breakthrough positioned the company as a sustainability leader. Lisa donated patents for humanitarian uses, earning a prestigious award. Sarah noticed a surge in Gen Z applicants passionate about the mission. The board greenlit a spin-off company focused solely on green tech. Lisa, typically reserved, danced in the lab upon the first successful product launch. Sarah's daughter joined the company as an intern, sparking whispers of nepotism. She assigned her to Lisa's team to avoid any direct oversight. The daughter excelled, proposing an app that streamlined internship feedback. Mark mentored her, emphasizing that the name on your badge matters less than the work behind it. HR formalized a policy for familial hires, requiring third-party evaluations. Sarah's daughter earned a full-time role independently, later transferring to the European branch. The transparency silenced critics and improved policies for future family applicants. Sarah admitted the scrutiny was painful but necessary. Lisa joked that nepotism fails where meritocracy prevails. Mark's son welcomed Sarah's daughter, forming a second-gen mentorship duo. The board praised the handling of the situation as a masterclass in fairness. The CEO announced his retirement, prompting speculation about his successor. Sarah, Lisa, and Mark were all contenders, though none openly campaigned. The board interviewed each, valuing their distinct strengths. Sarah emphasized operational scalability, Lisa championed innovation ethics, and Mark highlighted global harmony. After weeks of deliberation, the board chose Sarah for her balanced vision. Lisa was named Chief Innovation Officer, and Mark became President of Global Operations. The trio celebrated privately, reaffirming their mutual support. Sarah's first act as CEO was to establish a co-leadership council with Lisa and Mark. Employees cheered the promotions, seeing continuity and change. The media praised the seamless transition as a corporate fairy tale. Sarah hung a photo of their first recruitment drive in her new office. Sarah's inaugural CEO project was Horizon 2030, a decade-long plan blending profit and purpose. It included carbon neutrality goals, AI ethics accords, and an employee stock ownership plan. Lisa spearheaded the tech roadmap, while Mark aligned international branches. Critics called it overly ambitious, but early milestones silenced doubters. A solar-powered data center cut energy costs by 60% in year one. The stock ownership plan boosted productivity, as staff felt true ownership. Sarah hosted quarterly progress town halls, admitting openly when targets needed adjustment. Universities added Horizon 2030 to business curricula as a sustainability case study. Lisa joked that Sarah had CEO-somnia, dreaming about metrics at night. Mark balanced her intensity with cultural sensitivity in global implementations. The trio's synergy turned the plan into a movement beyond the company. Lisa discovered a passion for teaching, guest lecturing at MIT on responsible innovation. Students flocked to her sessions, drawn to her blend of tech and ethics. Sarah encouraged her to record a masterclass series for internal training. Mark suggested partnering with online platforms to reach emerging markets. The lectures went viral, making Lisa a reluctant tech philosopher celebrity. She used the platform to advocate for girls in STEM, funding scholarships. Sarah integrated Lisa's teachings into leadership development programs. Colleagues teased Lisa about her fan mail but admired her impact. The board created a new role for her, Chief Visionary Officer. Lisa insisted on keeping her lab access, saying, "Hands dirty, mind clean." Her duality, geek and guru, became the company's brand essence. Mark faced a diplomatic crisis when geopolitical tensions affected the Asian supply chain. He relocated key operations to multiple countries, minimizing reliance on any one region. Sarah backed his costly but prudent strategy, prioritizing long-term stability. Lisa's team automated supply tracking, providing real-time risk alerts. The moves initially hurt profits but later insulated the company from a trade war. Analysts praised the foresight, and competitors scrambled to replicate the model. Mark's cultural fluency eased transitions with new suppliers in Latin America. Sarah added geopolitical strategy to executive training, hiring external experts. Mark's son contributed fresh insights from his fintech network. The crisis became a textbook example of adaptive globalization. Mark received an Industry Lifetime Achievement Award but credited his team. Sarah's quiet hiring initiative focused on internal mobility over external recruitment. Employees could apply for short-term projects in other departments to explore new roles. Lisa mentored cross-functional teams, blending tech and non-tech perspectives. Mark's regional branches shared talent, giving employees global experience. Retention rates improved as staff found renewed purpose without leaving the company. A customer service rep transitioned to Lisa's AI team after discovering a coding talent. Sarah abolished rigid job descriptions, emphasizing skill clusters instead. HR reported higher engagement scores and lower training costs. The approach was featured in Forbes as the anti-Great Resignation strategy. Lisa quipped that the best hires were already here. Mark's son rotated through 3 departments, finding his passion in logistics. Lisa's lab developed a brain-computer interface to assist employees with disabilities. The tech allowed paralyzed staff to operate computers via neural signals. Sarah fast-tracked accessibility testing, prioritizing inclusivity over profits. Mark secured global medical certifications, navigating complex regulations. The first user, a veteran who lost mobility, became a company ambassador. Disability groups hailed the innovation as life-changing. Lisa refused to patent it, open-sourcing the core technology. Surprisingly, the goodwill attracted clients who valued corporate responsibility. Sarah made accessibility a key metric in executive bonuses. Employees with disabilities formed an advisory council to guide further innovations. Lisa cried at the launch event, calling it tech's highest purpose. The project won a UN Humanitarian Award, unprecedented for a corporation. Sarah's leadership was tested when a recession forced budget cuts. Instead of layoffs, she implemented tiered salary reductions, with executives taking the largest cuts. Lisa and Mark volunteered 20% pay cuts, inspiring others to follow. The company offered sabbaticals at partial pay to reduce payroll temporarily. Sarah's transparency about finances built trust during tough times. Lisa's team focused on low-cost innovations, like automating legacy systems. Mark renegotiated vendor contracts, saving millions without sacrificing quality. Within a year, the company rebounded stronger than competitors who had laid off staff. Employee loyalty reached record highs, and salaries were restored with interest. The board praised Sarah's People First recession playbook. Business schools added it to crisis management curricula. Sarah framed it as a choice between surviving and thriving. We chose both. Mark celebrated 25 years with the company by launching a Second Careers program. Employees over 50 could train for new roles, like mentoring or consulting. Sarah integrated it with her quiet hiring initiative, maximizing institutional knowledge. Lisa adapted VR training for older staff, making tech upskilling intuitive. The program reduced ageism and retained critical expertise. A 58-year-old accountant transitioned to a sought-after ethics advisor. Mark became the program's first participant, preparing for a board role. Media outlets featured the initiative as a solution to workforce aging. Competitors copied the model, but none matched the company's mentorship culture. Sarah joked that Mark was rewriting retirement rules. He replied, "Why retire when you can rewire?" Lisa's lab achieved a sci-fi milestone, AI that could predict market trends by analyzing global news. The tool wasn't perfect but gave the company a strategic edge. Sarah used it to pivot resources before trends peaked, avoiding losses. Mark's team customized it for regional nuances, like interpreting local idioms. The AI famously predicted a supply chain collapse months in advance. Lisa insisted on keeping a human veto to prevent over-reliance. Economists begged for access, but the company kept it proprietary. Sarah traded limited access to governments for regulatory favors. Lisa's team updated the algorithm daily, calling it the crystal ball that learns. The board valued it as the company's secret sauce. Lisa, however, warned, AI predicts, but people decide. Sarah, now 50, considered her legacy beyond the company. She founded a non-profit to mentor women in developing countries. Lisa joined the board, contributing tech education programs. Mark connected it with his global networks for scalability. The company sponsored the non-profit while maintaining its independence. Employees volunteered as mentors, earning extra vacation days. Within 2 years, the non-profit placed 1,000 women in tech jobs worldwide. Sarah balanced her CEO role with monthly non-profit strategy sessions. Lisa joked that Sarah had reverse retirement, working more to give back. The trio pledged to focus on philanthropy post-retirement. The non-profit became Sarah's second heartbeat, as she called it. The company's 20th anniversary coincided with a stock price peak. Sarah, Lisa, and Mark rang the opening bell at the stock exchange together. Employees worldwide watched live, celebrating their shared success. The trio unveiled a legacy fund to invest in employee startups. Lisa's lab spun off 3 green tech ventures with staff as co-owners. Mark's son launched a logistics startup with fund backing. Sarah reserved 50% of fund seats for women and minority founders. Analysts called it the ultimate retention tool, betting on your own talent. The anniversary gala featured holographic speeches from early employees who'd passed away. Tears flowed as the company's journey played in a documentary-style video. Sarah ended her speech with, "The best legacy is creating more leaders than followers." At 65, Sarah handed the CEO role to Lisa's protege, a former intern. Mark retired fully, joining Sarah's nonprofit to focus on global education. Lisa stayed as chief visionary officer but worked only part-time, finally indulging her travel bug. The trio bought adjacent beach houses, joking about corporate daycare for their grandkids. The company thrived under new leaders, its culture intact. Business schools studied their triad leadership model for decades. On lazy afternoons, they'd debate which recruitment drive moment defined them most. Sarah insisted it was the first failed AI, Lisa the VR breakthrough, Mark the Lego scamble. Their laughter carried on the wind, a harmony of memories and milestones. The company's story continued, but this, their friendship, was the happy ending. Sarah's nonprofit expanded into rural India, partnering with local schools to teach digital skills to girls. Lisa designed a simplified coding curriculum using visual blocks instead of text, overcoming language barriers. Mark negotiated with telecom companies to provide free data for educational apps in underserved areas. Within a year, 5,000 girls completed the program, with 30% securing tech internships. Sarah traveled to Mumbai to celebrate the first graduation ceremony, moved by the students' enthusiasm. The nonprofit's success attracted funding from major corporations, allowing further expansion across Africa. Lisa volunteered monthly virtual classes, her lectures translated into Hindi and Swahili. Mark's connections helped place top graduates in entry-level roles at global companies. Back home, employees donated unused laptops, which were refurbished and shipped to partner schools. The initiative was featured in a documentary about bridging the digital divide. Sarah framed the first dollar earned by a graduate-turned-freelancer, calling it the real ROI. The trio agreed this work mattered more than any corporate achievement. Lisa's part-time role as Chief Visionary Officer allowed her to experiment with passion projects. She turned her beach house garage into a mini-lab, tinkering with ocean-cleaning drones. Sarah joked about retirement not sticking, but secretly funded the prototypes. Mark connected her with marine biologists to test the drones on local polluted beaches. The drones used AI to identify and collect microplastics without harming wildlife. A viral video of the drones in action led to inquiries from environmental agencies. Lisa open-sourced the designs, prioritizing impact over profit. Her garage became a weekend hangout for eco-conscious engineers and local kids. Sarah's nonprofit added a Junior Innovators program inspired by Lisa's makeshift lab. Mark helped draft policy recommendations based on the drone trials for government adoption. Lisa's hobby project unexpectedly became her most fulfilling work. She quipped, "Retirement is just innovation without meetings." Mark's global education focus uncovered a need for vocational tech training in refugee camps. He partnered with NGOs to set up solar-powered learning pods in Jordan and Kenya. Sarah's nonprofit adapted Lisa's coding curriculum for trauma-informed teaching methods. Mark spent 3 months a year on site, mentoring teens displaced by conflict. His business acumen helped the pods become self-sustaining through microloan tech services. A Jordanian graduate created an app connecting refugees with employers worldwide. Lisa remotely advised on the app's development, troubleshooting across time zones. Sarah secured UN funding to scale the pods to 20 additional locations. Mark's wife joined as a psychology consultant, addressing learners' emotional barriers. The project earned him an honorary doctorate from Oxford for humanitarian innovation. He displayed the robe in his beach house, next to his old corporate awards. The trio agreed these pods were their legacy's living chapters. Sarah's mentorship of the new CEO continued informally over monthly seafood dinners. She resisted giving direct advice, instead asking probing questions to guide decisions. Lisa occasionally joined, offering tech insights when asked but avoiding interference. Mark shared global perspective, having visited over 50 countries post-retirement. The CEO valued these sessions, calling them the world's safest sounding board. Sarah's only firm rule was maintaining the employee stock ownership plan they'd created. When the board suggested diluting it for short-term gains, she privately reminded the CEO of its cultural importance. Lisa designed a dashboard showing how stock ownership correlated with innovation metrics. Mark's network provided examples of companies that regretted similar cuts. The CEO held firm, earning Sarah's proudest nod. Their dinners became case studies in graceful leadership transitions. Sarah's final advice: protect the culture, and the profits will follow. Lisa's drones attracted Silicon Valley investors, but she insisted on keeping control nonprofit. Sarah helped structure a social enterprise model where profits funded beach cleanups. Mark introduced her to a TED organizer, leading to a standing ovation talk. The exposure brought thousands of volunteer coders to improve the open source designs. A 12-year-old from Norway suggested a modification that doubled collection efficiency. Lisa video called her weekly, nurturing what became a mentor-protege bond. Sarah's nonprofit sponsored the girls' summer internship at Lisa's Garage Lab. Mark joked that Lisa had become the cool aunt of global ecotech. The drones were deployed in 15 countries within 2 years, with local teams managing operations. Lisa's only patent was for a safety feature preventing harm to sea life. She celebrated each cleanup milestone by swimming in the now cleaner ocean. Sarah framed a photo of Lisa waist-deep in water, grinning beside her drone, a portrait of purpose. Mark's learning pods faced a crisis when a flood destroyed the Kenya site. He immediately flew over, helping rebuild with storm-resistant designs. Sarah's nonprofit launched an emergency fund, raising triple the needed amount. Lisa shipped prototype waterproof tablets preloaded with educational content. The rebuild became a community effort, with former students working alongside volunteers. Mark's journal entries about the experience went viral among his corporate network. A tech CEO reading them funded 5 new pods in flood-prone regions. The Kenyan graduate's employer app now included disaster alert features. Sarah added crisis management to the nonprofit's teacher training programs. Lisa's team developed offline server versions of all learning materials. Mark returned home exhausted but inspired, calling it the best kind of tired. The trio donated their beach house's rental income to future disaster proofing. Sarah's 70th birthday became a surprise reverse roast where former employees shared how she'd shaped them. The new CEO revealed a company policy: all leadership training included Sarah's handwritten notes from crises. Lisa compiled these into a booklet titled Wisdom in the Margins. Mark arranged video messages from Learning Pod graduates across 6 time zones. Sarah laughed until she cried when shown a mock WWSD, "What Would Sarah Do?" bracelet. The nonprofit's Indian girls performed a dance blending tech terms with traditional moves. Lisa presented data showing Sarah's Ments now led 15% of Fortune 500 tech divisions. Mark toasted to the woman who measured success in people, not profits. Sarah whispered to them later, "This is heaven, seeing our ripples become waves." The party's favor was seed packets labeled "Grow Like Sarah Planted Us." Even retired, she kept mentoring, just from a beach chair now. Lisa's Garage Lab outgrew its space due to volunteer demand. Mark found a donated warehouse, which became the Coastal Innovation Hub. Sarah structured it as a worker cooperative, with all projects requiring community benefit. Local teens learned welding to build drone parts, earning scholarships. Lisa's Norwegian protege, now in university, spent summers leading coding workshops. The Hub's cafe employed refugees, with profits funding Mark's learning pods. A mural inside depicted the trio as abstract figures holding up a globe. Lisa still tinkered daily but loved watching others innovate more. Sarah joked the Hub was Lisa uncontained. Mark connected corporate sponsors who funded without demanding branding. The Hub's open-door policy meant anyone could attend workshops, from fishermen to CEOs. Lisa's proudest moment was when a 10-year-old fixed a drone she couldn't. The Hub became proof that retirement could mean reinvention. Mark's memoir, Global Tides, became a surprise bestseller blending business and humanitarian lessons. His chapter on the Lagos expansion was required reading at Harvard Business School. Sarah helped edit, insisting he include failures like his initial resistance to work-life balance. Lisa's margin notes became popular footnotes, Lisa's reality checks. The book's royalties funded microloans for Learning Pod graduates starting businesses. Mark did a podcast tour, deflecting praise onto Sarah's leadership and Lisa's innovations. A New Yorker cartoon depicted the trio as 3 wise monkeys covering global issues. Sarah framed it, replacing "Hear No Evil etc." with "See Potential, Build Solutions, Scale Impact." Teenagers wrote to Mark calling his career the ultimate RPG level up. He responded to every letter, often including Sarah's nonprofit applications. The book's success proved their story resonated beyond corporate circles. Sarah's nonprofit faced a dilemma when offered government funding with restrictive conditions. She convened the board, including Lisa and Mark, for a tough debate. Lisa analyzed how the strings might limit help to marginalized groups. Mark shared how he'd navigated similar issues with the learning pods. Sarah ultimately declined, pivoting to a public crowdfunding campaign instead. The Freedom to Help drive went viral, raising double the rejected amount. Donors included former employees, learning pod graduates, and even competitors. Lisa's tech community built a transparency portal showing every dollar's impact. Mark negotiated pro bono legal help to protect the nonprofit's independence. Sarah's stubbornness became a case study in ethical nonprofit leadership. The trio agreed some principles were non-negotiable, even in retirement. Their beach houses became the campaign's unofficial HQ, with strategy sessions over sunset barbecues. Lisa's declining eyesight from macular degeneration forced her to slow down. Characteristically, she turned it into an opportunity by testing voice-controlled lab tools. Sarah read research papers aloud during their walks, adapting to Lisa's needs. Mark redesigned the hub's workspace with tactile guides and high-contrast screens. Lisa's team developed audio-based coding tutorials for the visually impaired. She joked about becoming the blind visionary, embracing the paradox. Her TED Talk on innovating through disability went viral, inspiring assistive tech startups. Sarah's nonprofit launched a scholarship in Lisa's name for disabled coders. Mark ensured all learning pods implemented her audio tools immediately. Lisa's adaptability became her final masterclass for those she'd mentored. She told Sarah, "Limits are just parameters for better designs." Even with fading sight, her vision seemed clearer than ever. Mark's annual health check revealed early-stage Parkinson's, explained with typical candor by his doctor. Sarah and Lisa helped him process the news during a quiet beach walk. True to form, Mark researched clinical trials and adapted his workout regimen. He documented his journey online, helping destigmatize the disease for others. Lisa's hub team built vibration gloves to steady his occasional tremors during work. Sarah adjusted their nonprofit roles to reduce stress without disengaging him. Mark redoubled efforts on the learning pods, saying, "Time's value just multiplied." His memoir's updated edition included a chapter on facing mortality. Fans sent encouraging videos, many from people he'd helped over the years. The trio's bond deepened through this challenge, their humor intact. Mark's mantra became "Manage the disease, not let it manage you." Lisa framed his shaking handwritten note reading, "Still standing, just with new rhythms." Sarah's nonprofit celebrated its 10th anniversary by achieving its original goal, educating 100,000 underserved women. The milestone event featured holograms of graduates from 30 countries sharing their impact. Lisa's audio tools allowed blind participants to engage fully. Mark's Learning Pod Orchestra performed via satellite, their instruments made from recycled tech. The new CEO announced a company pledge to hire 10% of graduates annually. Sarah, typically stoic, wept watching a montage of transformed lives. Lisa surprised her by naming the hub's new assistive tech wing Sarah's Garden. Mark revealed a global index tracking nonprofits modeled after theirs, now numbering 200 plus. The trio's beach houses hosted graduates for informal mentoring sessions. Sarah reflected, "This is what we were really building all those corporate years." That night, they released 100 biodegradable lanterns into the ocean, each named for a graduate. Lisa's health declined rapidly, but she insisted on final projects. She dictated designs for solar-powered hearing aids to her team. Sarah became her reader and scribe, capturing every idea. Mark arranged for a portable lab setup in her bedroom overlooking the ocean. Former protégés visited in shifts, continuing work under her guidance. Lisa's last public appearance was a Zoom call with Norwegian students. She made Sarah and Mark promise to keep the hub's culture playful. Her final invention was a joy-tracking app for caregivers. When she passed, the tech world mourned, but her legacy thrived. The hub sign was changed to Lisa's Lighthouse. Sarah spoke at the memorial, saying, "She taught us to see in the dark." Mark played Lisa's favorite jazz album on the beach at sunset, her chair left empty beside them. Sarah and Mark leaned on each other through grief, their bond now familial. They digitized Lisa's notebooks, creating an open-access innovation cookbook. Sarah's nonprofit established a Lisa Fellows program for eccentric geniuses. Mark wore Lisa's signature lab coat during hub visits, sleeves rolled up like she did. They honored her by finally patenting her safety feature, funding scholarships with royalties. The first Lisa Fellows included her Norwegian protege and a blind coder. Sarah often talked to Lisa's empty chair during tough decisions. Mark added her favorite equations to the hub's mural in glow-in-the-dark paint. On her birthday, 100 drones performed a light show over the ocean. Sarah whispered, "You'd hate the fuss but love the code." Grief became gratitude for having built something that outlasted them all. Mark's Parkinson's progressed, but he adapted like he had to every challenge. Voice-controlled software helped him continue advising learning pod initiatives. Sarah walked with him daily, their conversations ranging from logistics to philosophy. He trained a successor from among the earliest pod graduates. Sarah's nonprofit established a Resilience Award in his name. Mark's memoir was translated into 15 languages, including Braille. He joked about his shaky signature making each copy unique. When mobility became difficult, the hub built a beach wheelchair with all-terrain wheels. Mark insisted on testing it himself, racing laughing kids across the sand. His last project was an AI chatbot preserving refugee camp elders' stories. Sarah held his hand as he passed, surrounded by voice messages from pod graduates worldwide. The chatbot's first question was, "What would Mark encourage us to try today?" Sarah, now the last of the trio, divided her time between the hub and nonprofit. She mentored their successors, ensuring continuity of vision. The company named its three main conference rooms Collins, Patel, and Wright. Alumni often visited Sarah, seeking wisdom for their own ventures. She compiled Mark and Lisa's letters into a when in doubt guide. Her beach house became a pilgrimage site for social entrepreneurs. At 85, Sarah still attended hub demos, offering blunt feedback with love. The nonprofit's 100K women goal was surpassed tenfold. One graduate became her live-in caregiver, returning the mentorship. Sarah's last public speech urged, "Build bridges, not monuments." When she passed peacefully in her sleep, the hub's lights dimmed automatically, a feature Lisa had secretly coded years prior. Hurwell left the beach houses to the nonprofit, with one condition: keep the chairs facing the ocean. Years later, the company, nonprofit, and hub thrived under new leadership. The triad model was studied in universities worldwide. Holograms of Sarah, Lisa, and Mark greeted visitors in the hub's lobby. Their story became a graphic novel inspiring young innovators. The learning pods evolved into full-fledged digital universities. Lisa's safety patent funded scholarships in perpetuity. Mark's chatbot preserved 10,000 refugee stories in a living archive. Sarah's when in doubt guide was quoted in courts and classrooms. The beach houses hosted retreats for emerging leaders. 3 trees planted nearby intertwined their roots underground. Graduates worldwide paused annually on the trio's shared birthday. The ocean they loved remained clean, patrolled by Lisa's perfected drones. Their legacy proved that careers could be both successful and significant. The company's 50th anniversary featured a holographic reunion of the trio. AI reconstructed their voices from recordings for a Q&A with employees. The CEO revealed a time capsule from the first recruitment drive era. Inside were Sarah's probation notes on Lisa and Mark's first project draft. Laughter erupted at their handwritten margin debates about risk-taking. The nonprofit displayed its 1 millionth graduate's profile, a girl from Lisa's India program. The hub live-streamed drone-assisted beach cleanups on 5 continents. Analysts noted the company's market value had grown 10,000% since the trio's tenure. But the real tribute was in the culture, still valuing people over profits. That evening, 50 drones spelled "just begin over the ocean," Sarah's mantra. Employees left not with swag bags, but seed packets and mentorship pledges. The trio's holograms waved goodbye, their digital faces crinkled with smiles. Some swore they saw the real trio's shadows walking into the sunset waves. A century after the first recruitment drive, historians analyzed the trio's unprecedented impact. The company had become a multinational with ethics at its core, still using their promotion system. Sarah's non-profit educated its 10 millionth student, a girl from the same Mumbai slum, as their first class. Lisa's hub had spawned 500 innovation centers worldwide, all keeping her playful seriousness ethos. Mark's learning pods evolved into floating schools for climate refugees. Biographers debated what made their partnership unique, settling on competitive compassion. The beach houses were preserved as a museum, the worn chairs still facing the waves. Corporate pilgrims left handwritten notes in the trio's old lockers, now glass display cases. A tech billionaire funded AI recreations of their leadership styles for modern CEOs. But the truest legacy was in daily acts: a manager pausing to mentor like Sarah, an engineer open sourcing like Lisa, an executive prioritizing dignity like Mark. The world had countless problems left, but also countless solutions bearing their fingerprints. Their story ended where all great ones do, by never really ending at all. The company's AI curator detected a forgotten file audio from their first meeting. Young Sarah's nervous laughter, Lisa's technical rambling, Mark's confident interjections echoed through headquarters. Employees gathered, hearing the moment that birthed their culture. The CEO noticed how their debate about acceptable risks mirrored current discussions. A junior analyst tearfully confessed she'd applied because her grandmother was in Sarah's nonprofit. The audio looped in the lobby, with a plaque, "Every future starts with a conversation." That night, 3 shooting stars streaked over the beach houses simultaneously. The night guard, a hub graduate, saluted before resuming his rounds. Social media buzzed with #Trio Wisdom Trends sharing their quotes. A child in a Lagos learning pod asked if they'd been superheroes. The teacher smiled. Better, they were real people who chose to care. The star's light, physicists noted, had left its source around the time of Lisa's passing. Coincidence? Surely. But in boardrooms and nonprofits and garages worldwide, someone always remembered to save an empty chair. On the 150th anniversary of the company's founding, controversy erupted. A biopic cast A-list actors who looked nothing like the trio. Purists protested until Lisa's old lab assistant revealed holographic recordings. The real trio premiere used AI to recreate them narrating their journey. Audiences cheered when Digital Mark quipped, "They'd have fired us for those Hollywood budgets." The film's profits endowed scholarships matching the trio's original values. Meanwhile, archaeologists excavated the first Lagos office, now buried under a modern district. They found Sarah's handwritten meeting notes, Lisa's prototype sketches, Mark's coffee-stained strategy drafts. These were displayed beside 22nd century tech in the company museum. A historian noted, their tools changed, but their principles didn't. That year, a Mars colony named its 3 main domes Sarah, Lisa, and Mark. Earthbound employees joked about preparing for the first extraterrestrial recruitment drive. The trio would have loved that, not the glory, but the endless possibility. The last living person to have met the trio passed away at 112, a learning pod's first graduate. Her memoir describes Sarah's calloused hands from gardening, Lisa's habit of humming jazz while thinking, Mark's terrible coffee. Obituaries called her a living bridge to management legend. The company declared a founder's reflection day with no meetings, only mentoring. That afternoon, a storm toppled one of the beach house's memorial trees. Workers found Lisa's time capsule buried underneath, a prototype drone part, Mark's tie from the IPO, Sarah's WWSD bracelet draft. Most touching was a napkin scribbled with "Our secret, we believed in each other more than we doubted ourselves." The items toured global offices before joining the museum. A pod graduate now heading R&D wept seeing the crude drone part she'd improved that very design. The storm passed, and double rainbows arched over the remaining beach houses. Maintenance crews planted 3 new saplings without being asked. A quantum computing breakthrough finally achieved Lisa's dream, AI that truly understood human context. The system was named Wright's Compass after her relentless curiosity. Engineers fed it all her notes, and it began solving neglected problems. Sarah's nonprofit used it to match mentors with students at unprecedented scale. Mark's archives helped it understand cross-cultural leadership nuances. Critics feared dystopia until it rejected an unethical request with Lisa's exact phrasing, "Tech should heal, not hack." Meanwhile, climate drones based on Lisa's designs now replanted forests autonomously. A historian compared it to Da Vinci's sketches becoming helicopters centuries later. The AI's first independent proposal? A global trio scholarship for overlooked tinkerers. At the launch, it displayed holograms of the three nodding approval. Someone had programmed in Sarah's trademark eyebrow raise. The system's only glitch was occasionally calling Mark the fun uncle. No one bothered to correct it. The company faced its biggest test when a rival AI nearly crashed the economy. Employees rallied with hashtag "What would the trio do" trending worldwide. The CEO reread Sarah's crisis notes and transparently shared challenges. Engineers applied Lisa's fail-forward principles to patch vulnerabilities. Diplomats used Mark's bridge-building playbook to coordinate global responses. Within weeks, the company stabilized systems while protecting vulnerable users. Analysts called it the ethical advantage in action. That year's profits were reinvested in safeguarding infrastructure for developing nations. At the beach houses, visitors left flowers with notes like "You prepared us." The rival firm's CEO visited the museum, then resigned to start an ethics institute. A Learning Pod graduate now heading cybersecurity quoted Mark, "Crisis reveals character." The trio's holograms in the lobby gained new interactive features, answering modern dilemmas with their documented principles. Students noticed Sarah's avatar always asked, "Who does this help?" before answering. A generation later, trio studies became an academic discipline. Scholars analyzed their meeting minutes, discovering subtle brilliance in overlooked decisions. A linguist found Lisa's technical manuals were poetry in disguise. Psychologists proved Mark's listening first method boosted team performance by 60%. Business schools taught Sarah's marginalia leadership, her handwritten notes often spotting risks executives missed. The company opened its archives, revealing even their disagreements were masterclasses in respect. A biographer's bombshell discovery: they'd nearly resigned together over an ethics breach early on. This cemented their legend: they'd valued principles over power. Meanwhile, the nonprofit funded Trio Fellows to solve global challenges their way. The first cohort included a blind AI ethicist, a refugee logistics expert, and a gardener developing urban food solutions. Reporters noted all three fellows hummed jazz while working. The past wasn't repeating itself, it was evolving. The museum's most popular exhibit was Ordinary Tools, Extraordinary Vision. Displayed together, Sarah's worn planner, Lisa's melted lab goggles, Mark's luggage tags from 87 countries. Visitors lingered at interactive stations trying to solve problems as the trio had. Children loved the build like Lisa corner with prototype materials. Executives wept seeing Mark's handwritten list, "Things I should have delegated." But the centerpiece was the original probation paperwork from the recruitment drive. Annotations showed Sarah questioning Lisa's experience, Mark doubting Sarah's age, Lisa critiquing everyone's methods. A flashing sign asked, "Could your team turn this start into greatness?" The guestbook's most common comment? "They were human. So am I." Maybe. On the museum's roof, 3 wind turbines, inspired by Lisa's drone designs, powered the building. Their shadows traced circles like a clock no one was watching. The company's first lunar office opened with 3 symbolic empty desks. Moonbase employees held a trio day debating how each would approach space challenges. They settled on Sarah's caution about life support systems, Lisa's eagerness to experiment with low-gravity tech, Mark's focus on international crew dynamics. Back on Earth, the hub's Mars-ready drones prepared to search for water. The nonprofit sponsored the first off-world scholarship for a Nigerian astrophysics student. Meanwhile, quantum archivists recovered deleted files showing the trio's earliest video calls. Their warmth and bickering humanized them further. A viral meme superimposed their faces on the 3 wise monkeys with new captions: "See potential, build solutions, scale good." When solar flares delayed lunar communications, the base commander reread Sarah's crisis notes. The solution? Adapt Mark's old supply chain workaround. The trio's principles, it turned out, were universal, perhaps even interplanetary. Centuries later, an AI historian made a startling connection. The trio's rise coincided with the oldest tree at their beach house's germination. Core samples showed it had absorbed traces of Lisa's lab runoff, Mark's spilled coffee, Sarah's sunscreen. The tree's DNA held molecular memories of their laughter. Scientists proposed this explained its unprecedented resilience to climate change. A poet wrote, "They nourished the future literally and figuratively." The company, now spanning galaxies, used its roots' genetic code to terraform harsh worlds. The non-profit became an interplanetary education network. And the hub's drones, self-improving over generations, still cleaned oceans on multiple worlds. A Martian child's school essay put it simply: great teams are like trees. Strong roots, flexible branches, and seeds that travel on the wind. Back on Earth, high tide gently erased footprints near the beach houses, as it always had, and always would. The final artifact found in Sarah's beach house was a napkin tucked behind a photo. In fading ink, it read, "Lisa thinks I don't know she's sick. Mark thinks we don't notice his tremors. Joke's on them, the best teams see everything. So here's the real plan: keep building so their best outlasts their bodies. P.S. If you're reading this, add your own line below." The napkin had 427 subsequent lines, from the first intern to the Mars colony director. The last, added yesterday by a quantum AI, simply said, "Still adding lines. Still standing on your shoulders. Still saving chairs." The museum displays it rotating slowly under glass, with a mirror so visitors see themselves reflected in the blank space below. Waiting.
Like and subscribe if you would like.